This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome. And in just a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure, it's great to be here. My name's Lance Cottrell. I'm a former astrophysicist, founder of Anonymizer.com, active angel investor, and these days I'm running FeelTheBoot, a website with advice, tips, and interviews for early stage founders.
Very interesting. Well, what's the best thing about being the CEO of this company?
Yeah, I think the thing about being CEO is twofold. One, the ability to help your team and individuals really excel and see them achieving things that they couldn't otherwise. And the other is really bringing things into existence. In the FeelTheBoot, it's particularly helping founders of new startups achieve their dreams.
Very good. Well said. Well, I'm sure throughout your career, throughout your experiences with founders, and for my own, I have heard from CEOs that leading a team and being able to see the road ahead can be a challenge. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's a famous saying that, it's hard to make predictions, particularly about the future. Yeah, I think when you're working with a team, it's all going to be about communications, making sure that you're helping them get on the same page as you, that you're all sharing the same vision, so you're navigating to the same place together. And then always being open-minded about the changing situation, right? It's easy to get tunnel vision when you start to execute on a plan, but you're always learning. There's always new information coming open. And I think it's critical as the leader to be not heads down, but kind of prairie dogging, keep your head up, look around for the information that's out there and make sure that you're ready to change direction as needed rather than just, continuing to bowl on.
Again, well said. Well, throughout all of your accumulated experience and interactions, what piece of insight do you want to share with other CEOs?
And one of the most important things that I learned, and actually one of my co-founders explained this to me, was when I'm CEO, everything I say is coming through a megaphone. Even when I try to speak quietly, whisper to my team, it's coming through with just enormous force. And so it's super important to take that heat off the ball. Typically, if you've got a good team, the problem isn't convincing them that they've done something wrong. It's convincing them to stop beating themselves up about the thing they've done. They're going to work plenty hard. The corollary to that is it's really difficult to create a trusted environment where you can hear the truth because you're up on such a hilltop. Just because of the nature of your position, inherently, there's always fear in working with you, even if they like and trust you. It's hard to get accurate feedback, to get the bad news early, to get that information. And so as part of a cultural exercise, I think it's critically important to spend a lot of time building an environment where people will speak that truth to power so you actually know what's going on, because the people who are executing are the ones who actually know.
Excellent. Excellent. I have nothing to add to that. That's a very good response. Well, let me ask you this. In your journeys, what other successful CEOs like yourself would you like to acknowledge or shout out and should be on my podcast?
One name immediately comes to mind. It's a woman. I've invested in her company. I'm on her board of directors. She's a great friend. She really is an inspiring and impressive leader. Her name's Lisa Tamayo, and she's the CEO and founder of Scholar, which is a smart pet wearables platform company. But her ability to really take on obstacles and grow with the responsibilities of the role has been really impressive to me. And she's extremely self-aware about the whole process.
Very good. We look forward to having her on our podcast. Now, Lance, for the final question, how do you celebrate a win?
When wins come, and they never come as often as we'd like, I typically, especially when I was working with larger teams, I'd bring everyone into a conference room and bring in something that I'd made, either some home brew or I make wine. And I found that sharing something that I'd made with my own hands had a much bigger impact with the team. And everyone really appreciated that effort and knew that they were being appreciated by me, that I was recognizing them and what they'd done. And that hands-on effort was always important. I remember once we'd done one of those Bataan Death March projects. Everyone was working huge numbers of hours. And so I just hand glued Red Bull cans onto small wooden plaques and, wrote little thank yous on them and handed them out. Right, super cheap, super easy. Those things were kept forever because it was this really tangible recognition of what they'd done.
Wow, that's an excellent example. Thank you for that. So Lance, it's been a pleasure having you here today. How can people find you?
Easiest way to find me is at FeelTheBoot.com. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name. And of course, you can find me at Lance Cottrell at Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other usual places.
Very good. This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for The Gray Owl Company. Lance, thank you very, very much.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure.